to work together. In the book, page 524 are the directions, so you should look at that. It tells us to journalize the following transactions completed during November of the current year. We're going to use page 15 of the General Journal, which I have right here, and page 24 of the Cash Receipts Journal. So we're going to look at these transactions, bless you. November 2nd, it says that we wrote off Davidson Corporation past due account as uncollectible. Okay, so we're going to say, you know what, we're not waiting for Davidson Corporation to pay us anymore. We're going to use that allowance that we've set aside for uncollectible accounts to pay off his account. Okay, so what are we going to do here? What are we going to do? Okay, let's think of it this way. If we draw a T account for this Davidson Corporation, they owe us money. Okay, so is that going to be a debit that they have or a credit? They owe us money.
That is a debit.
Okay, so they have a... Do we want them to have a balance? No, we want to bring it back to zero. We don't want them to have a balance anymore. So what are we going to do? We're going to credit Davidson Corporation. What else do we need to credit then as well? Good. Accounts receivable / Davidson Corporation. So if we're going to credit that, what are we going to debit? What are we going to... You're on the right track. It's not uncollectible accounts, it's the allowance for uncollectible accounts. Because we've set aside that money, now we're taking that money out of the allowance that we've set aside and we're using it, okay, to pay off that account. Okay, so my date is November 2nd. What did I say I was debiting? What did I say I was debiting? Mitchell? I did. Okay, so I'm debiting my allowance for uncollectible accounts. This was document number M245. Okay, how much am I debiting them?
Yeah.
I wrote that wrong on my scratch paper. Did anyone catch that? Okay, what am I going to credit? Am I just crediting people? No.
Receivable Davidson Corp. Right?
Correct. Yep, don't forget to put that slash. Now, since I put that, where else do I put it? In my post reference. Good. That's going to remind me then when I'm posting that I need to post to 2 different accounts there. And then we have a credit of $8.49. November 3rd, we wrote off JGS Industries past due account as uncollectible for $2,488, and this was Memorandum 247. What are we doing here? Same thing, except it's a different account this time that we're writing off. So it's November 3rd. We're going to take that money out of the allowance that we have set aside. This is Memorandum 247. And we are taking out $2,488. And with that $288, we are then going to pay off, or we're going to bring that accounts receivable to 0. Oops, not Davidson. This was JGF Industries.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Again, do not forget to put your slash there. And then I'm going to credit that for $288.
1, 2, 3, 4.
On the 4th, we're writing off another account. We are writing off Sansing Co's past due account as uncollectible for $609.
These people don't pay us.
No. But that is our risk when we sell things on account. Memorandum 251, and that was 609. Don't forget to put your backslash there. Or is that a forward slash? Dang it. Alright, on the 14th now, we have a different transaction. On the 14th, we received cash in full payment of Lynchburg Company's account, previously written off as uncollectible, for $1548. Memorandum 254 and receipt 415. Now, first thing is that gives us a hint. There are 2 source documents. What does that tell us? Mitchell, what does that tell us?
2 source documents. I don't know.
Yeah.
2 accounts.
2 journal entries. We have 2 different transactions, okay? We have a memorandum that we're going to use, and then we also have a receipt. So we're going to have a transaction in our general journal, and we're also going to have a transaction in our cash receipts journal, okay? Mitchell, that was me trying to hint for you to knock it off. Okay. So, when we receive money of an account that we previously wrote off, the first thing that we need to do is we need to reopen that account because we've closed it. Okay, we've brought that balance down to 0. So now we need to bring that balance back into what they owe us. Okay. So if we are doing that, how would we do that? Here we're writing them off. Now we want to bring the balance back. So what would we do? We just do the exact opposite, okay? Accounts receivable, we are going to debit and this would be using our memorandum 258. And that was $1548. And then we're going to credit our allowance. We're going to put that money back into the allowance that we have set aside. Thank you. Allison just got it for me.
What is it?
Pink sparkles.
Oh.
Okay, opened that account. Now what was our second transaction? The second transaction for that same thing. Cash receipts journal. So we're going to go down to our cash receipts journal. It's November 14th. And now we're receiving cash. Okay, so just like we normally would when we receive cash from a customer. Okay, so the amount of cash that we received was $15.48, so that's our cash debit. We're going to credit then what?
1548. Accounts receivable.
Accounts receivable. Good. What do I write in my account title?
Lynchburg payment.
Good. Because I am going to credit accounts receivable and that credit to Lynchburg Company. And my document number there was receipt 415. On the 29th, we received cash in full payment of JGF Industries account, previously written off as uncollectible, $2,488, memorandum 261, and receipt 429. So again, we're going to have two different transactions. The first transaction that we're going to do is up in our general journal, and we need to reopen that account that we closed. So see, on the 3rd, we closed that account, we wrote it off. So now we need to reopen it. So we're just going to reverse that entry.
Why don't you just cross it out? Tell like it didn't happen.
Because we have already made record of it, and we want to make sure that we keep record of what we're actually doing.
That's not how it works in the world of accounting.
Yes. And
What?
yeah, nothing.
Were you gonna say something, Mitchell, but it's not school appropriate?
Probably something mean,
No.
something hurtful to my feelings.
Because I do that a lot.
I do. Well, it's not true.
Nice.
Okay, now the second part of our transaction is we're going to put that into our cash receipts journal. Okay, so on the 29th, we got paid $2,488. That is our cash debit. We're going to credit our accounts receivable. And that specific account that we are going to credit is going to be JGF Industries. And that was receipt 429.